intermediary questions, and I wrote down and just asked one question. Is it your vision that Acacia be the next magnet school for enriched learning, or perhaps a... Could I make a motion?
Because it's not on the agenda.
It's online.
Do we need a blue card?
Or perhaps a dual immersion type combination with the enhanced. I thought this was just absolutely fantastic, and I'm glad that you were chosen to be the first. And I was actually considering making some comments tonight about what is our next move in terms of creativity and really working on the enrollment issue. And I think this has got to be towards the top of the list. So thank you very much. That was great.
Thank you. We're having a ball, and the kids are just, I mean, really the kids are amazing. We gave them a chance and took a leap that we thought, oh, can they do it? And they're doing it way more than we ever imagined. So it's outstanding. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming and for all your hard work at the school site and for sharing that with us. Thank you. And yes, you can sneak out of here. Okay, thank you, teachers. And while they're exiting the room, we're to public comments. Mrs. Ise?
So we can't pull items from the consent agenda. Right?
But I think we can't speak before
So
we put the motion down.
he can just speak during public comments.
He already has it with the item.
Right, so there will be a second opportunity to speak to the consent agenda. Okay. So what do you think? When he speaks on the public comment, I'll let him know.
Okay, thank you.
Before his time starts.
Okay. All right, and are these are in order. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 speakers under public comments. I will read the first 3. I don't think I've shuffled the order on these. Are you thinking I shuffled them?
I have it numbered.
Oh, so you did. Okay, and they were in the correct order. Hang on just a sec, because I see there's chatter, and I don't want to miss out. Oh, excellent point. Thank you. See, she is taking good care of me. So we're going to start public comments, and as per usual, I cannot remember to read my public comment, but I have been reminded. I'm going to get better at this one day. Or I'm going to no longer be president and I won't have to worry about it. There you go. So, the cvusd Board of Education respects and wants to hear from students, parents, employees, and our community regarding the important education matters we face. Individuals have the right to make public comments during our school board meetings. Because these meetings are held in public, we ask that all speakers show sensitivity and respect for our students' legal rights of privacy, including the right, in many situations, for their identities to remain confidential. Please remember to make your comments factual and to offer them in a respectful manner that provides a good role model for students and meets the expectations of our community. Know that your comments may be heard by those who are present in this room and those watching a broadcast of this meeting. Because of the public nature of our meetings, we ask that speakers be sensitive to our employees' legal rights to privacy and confidentiality. A violation of these rights can render a speaker liable under certain circumstances. This meeting process respects the rights of students and employees, ensures compliance with the laws governing our public meetings, and maintains good order. Although members of the school board do not engage in dialogue with speakers making public comment, board members may choose to seek clarification from staff or make a request of staff related to your comments. Please be assured that the school board members value your comments and input. Your active and respectful participation in our process is appreciated. Thank you, Dr. Bonatadis, for keeping me on the straight and narrow. And now, I'm going to read the first three. Actually, we have four, so I'll read them all. It's going to be Peter, sorry for the mispronunciation, Siafi, then Cheyenne Siafi, then Bill Gorback, and then Nick Kidway. Peter and Cheyenne.
Hello, my name's Peter Joffe. I'm here on behalf of my daughter Cheyenne. I'm trying to get her bus back and forth to school. Cheyenne is disabled. I've been, for the last 2.5 years, been trying to get busing for my daughter to and from school. I have an IEP set for tomorrow, but previous times I've asked the person in charge of the special ed busing to be present at the IEPs, and nobody shows up. And this has been an ongoing thing for 2.5 years to get my daughter bused to her school. As of now, she takes a transit bus and she's up an hour early waiting for the bus. She gets home an hour later. She has medical needs that need to be tended to when she gets home. She has homework. There's a lot going on with Cheyenne's life right now. She just had a surgery about a month ago, but she's willing to go to school. But say on rainy days or any other day where it's the weather and at night it's darker earlier, I'm just worried about her problems getting home because of the traffic. So that's where I'm at, just trying to get my girl bused to school, that's all.
Thank you for coming and sharing your concerns with us. I have a card filled out in Cheyenne's name as well. Cheyenne, are you going to speak?
Basically, she's asking the board
Okay,
to have some consideration towards the busing for my daughter.
all right. Thank you very much for coming and talking to us
Okay,
tonight.
thank you, ma'am.
Next on the agenda, Bill Gorback. If you want to just give those to Peggy, we'll do the passing. Thank you.
Good.
President Dr. Conley, Mrs. Buckles, Mrs. Phelps, Mr. Anderson, and Dr. Bonatadis. As you know, Breakthrough is the district's hybrid counseling center. It's a hybrid combining the best of school counseling with the best of family counseling. By handling together family counseling, family issues, and school issues, Breakthrough recognizes that the combination of these actually helps the student who negotiate the interaction of family issues with school issues and their school success. The hybrid success of Breakthrough is so great that students sometimes are assigned as alternatives to any other consequences, and they finish their assignment, which is so many sessions at Breakthrough, and they choose to either remain or return, which is a real testimony to the success. The unfortunate thing is that Breakthrough is in one spot with one staff, and I would ask that somehow or other in the future, as funds become available, that we look to expand and put it on several school sites, as well as expand the staff. In relation to that, I would like to share with you and our viewing community an important educational event that Breakthrough is a partnership sponsor of. It is the Reality Party for Parents. I attended this last year and was shocked. What it is basically a simulation of a house party, where it is done by script, but it's also done by script that kids who participate have actually heard. It's not some author's figment of imagination of what goes on. It is well, by definition, it is reality as to what happens at various house parties. It is reality as to the mindset of some parents who feel that it's a rite of passage and okay for kids to get into binge drinking, alcohol use, drug use, and other things. I am asking or inviting our viewing community to see this event. To see this event and witness it, you will be shocked and it will be very educational. It is a partnership with Ventura County Behavioral Health. It is a partnership with county law enforcement. And I just urge not only those of you here, but those in our viewing audience on TV this week to register for it. You can register at info at Straight Up. Straight Up is an organization out of Ventura that's sponsored by Ventura Behavioral Health. Okay.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Mr. Gorback. Next speaker is Mr. Quidway, and I just want to inform you before your minutes begin that you submitted 2 items. The second item refers to our consent agenda, which has already been submitted and voted on, and we are unable to pull items out for discussion. So you got 3 minutes.
That's what happens when you are late.
It is what happens, but now your time is ticking. Mrs.
It's already
Isse-
ticking, oh my God.
Hang on, it's not. Mrs. Isse, please give him the mic.
Please don't use the
and
word
we'll,
ticking, and you know
we'll
what happened
all right.
recently.
You're on, sir.
Yeah, my name is Nick Balkadwa, I'm a resident of Newbury Park, and I begin in the name of God, who's most beneficial, most merciful. I've been a director of Concerned Citizens of Thousand Oaks, and used to be a frequent visitor here when it was in Westlake Village, and in this chamber too. I'm glad that 2 folks seem to be having a good time and smiling. I'm scared that Mr. Anderson is sitting so close, he might come and just yank me. But I'm not in such a good mood, unfortunately. That's why, I mean, you know, people don't come to the meetings because, you know, what is my name? I mean, I think you mentioned that. I mean, I hope you have read about Malcolm X. I mean, I'm disappointed in everybody sitting on the dais that it's been 5 years now, something like that, that speakers are referred to as speaker number 1, speaker number 3. And if the sentence that is written about them can be gender neutral even, so you don't even know who it is. I mean, you can tell I'm not originally born here. And every society that I know respects and has a name. In fact, in this country, we value pets so much. And we have Tootsie and all kind of nice names for dogs and cats. I don't know why the names of citizens have been removed. It's also very important as far as elections are concerned, so that when Mr. Anderson is running, I can run up and see how many times he spoke and what his position was. That's one of the purpose of the minutes. The other thing is, you talk about kids watching the program or the meeting, etc., being pleasant and civil. How civil is this noise that was made? And then to turn the speaker off, especially when nobody, I mean, when I used to come, I mean, I couldn't park in the car. I got parked in the VIP parking because there's no one here, hardly anyone. I mean, even though it's more than city council people, but it's empty chambers. Why do you have to treat parents and people who are concerned, who want to make a contribution, and it's the agenda that governs it. I mean, if you have 25 people here when you have an agenda that causes it, and then you should let people speak. And now there's no one over here. Why is that ding? I mean, it was at the city council. I think I was involved in getting rid of it. We just have a yellow light. So I think I still have a few seconds. You have disenfranchised me because Mike Dunn has won elections, he has my support. You don't have a legal thing about rotation, but he and Mr. Anderson deserve to get those positions. And I for one, am sick and tired. I'm taking the position. I have complained to the DA about this, and I implore other people to do it for good government, as well as the grand jury to look at this body and other body, so, which are constantly disenfranchising us. And so thinking about time bomb.
Thank you, sir. That ends our public comments, and we now have comments from the superintendent.
Thank you, Dr. Connolly. I'd like to begin by thanking all of the community members who have come out for my various green print focus groups. Many people made time on Saturday mornings to come out. By the end, I felt like we were family and we had a breakfast club going. But it was really rewarding and fantastic conversations, and I'm going to be finishing up those focus groups this week and meeting with students this week as well. So I'm looking forward to that. As a tribute to our community passing Measure I hope everyone noticed in the Acorn that we had a happy anniversary for our Measure I. And we wanted to make sure that we thanked our community. Our Bond Oversight Committee, chaired by Marshall Dellinger, was able to go to Ladera at elementary school to see some of the work firsthand that's being done. And so we believe that it's important to continue to update our public, and we will continue to do that. I believe, Marshall, that's in January, that we're going to come back at a meeting and you'll be updating everyone as well. So thank you for that. Some accolades that we have, most recently since our last board meeting, congratulations to Child Nutrition Services. They received an award for the region for their farm to summer meals. We're very proud of them. And school psychologist Kim Tarnowski was awarded the Outstanding School Psychologist Award by a California Association of School Psychologists. Also, this week is National Education Week, and we want to recognize all of our fine educators out there who do tremendous work for our students. Also, thanks goes to law enforcement Tim Hagel and Kevin McGowan, who have created a 1-minute public service announcement for students regarding El Nino. And we'll be putting that out. It will be up on websites, and we'll be able to educate our community about how to stay safe with the impending weather that's being forecasted. We'll wait and see. It's going to happen. Today, we were able to recognize at Banyan Elementary School the Greater Conejo Valley Chamber's Teacher of the Month, Susan Begg. She was recognized for her innovation and what she brings to the staff, particularly with some of her technology skills and how she's helped them. So congratulations, Susan. In addition to all of the different events that I've been attending and following with our athletic competitions and banjos, I had the opportunity to attend one of our first musicals, and that was High Noonish over at Newbury Park High School, and that was great fun, lots of audience participation, and I was just really, really proud of our students, and I look forward to seeing other theatrical productions as well. I want to mention that our thoughts for those in France or otherwise connected to the recent tragedy are with them. Locally, we do have a student group that does plan travel to Paris at the end of December, and we are still in some exploratory phases, and we wanted everyone to know that we are working with the parents and with the students and with safety organizations, government officials, our travel agencies, just to make sure we make good, well-measured, thoughtful conclusions about that particular trip. And like I said, we're in the exploratory phase, and while emotions are a little bit raw, it's important that we get all of our facts before we make any kind of final decisions there. And let me see, what else? Oh, my favorite learner moment from the past couple weeks, I probably should say Acacia, based on the presentation that they just did, and so I will go to a Genius Hour there. But I was blown away at Conejo Elementary when I visited a combined grade 2-3 classroom, and they were doing activities related to physics where they had a straw and they had a little disc and they were spinning it. And they just started talking Newtonian physics to me. They were talking about force, motion, gravity, pull, all kinds of things. They were articulating it better than what I've heard some high school students do it. It just blew me away. And this wasn't students who were just mimicking or parroting something that they memorized. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about critical thinking and in-depth learning, is that they were able to explain and justify and rationalize what they were seeing. So they were the geniuses of the hour when I was in there. And our Pepperdine students as well were in there as volunteers helping out. So it was nice to see that collaboration with one of our higher education partners. And I think that's it. And since we won't meet again until after Thanksgiving, wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving break as well.
Thank you very much. Board member comments? You got anything there? We'll start at the end. Mr. Anderson?
I was just trying to maybe show a little courtesy for the others on the board, but they said, go ahead, John,
They did.
so why not? I also had an opportunity to attend the presentation. I learned this from Dr. Bonnet. It was for all the fantastic teachers at Banyan today, for the Teacher of the Month recognition. So the same, I echo the shout out for Susan Begg. It's always fantastic to attend those. The second item, I wish I had made copies for everyone here. This is a new report that Dr. Sand's Fiscal Services Group has put together. It's called the Budget Adjustment Report. And basically it shows significant budget changes that are made in a previous month period. So what I see is a significant benefit of this is we get to our quarterly or trimester review and we go, gee, why did that change by $3 million? Is someone trying to hide that money somewhere? And thank you for the joke.
Never.
Yeah, never.
It's a good joke.
But seriously, in the month of September, and I'm going to invite Dr. Sand maybe just to clarify so I don't make a misstatement. We had $1 million addition, $1.2 million addition, although it was foreseen. And in the month of October, we had a $1.3 million decrement. And so I'd like to ask Dr. Sand if he could just give a little highlight on this report for us.
Excuse me. Just as we had shared in the unaudited actuals, the budget is a very fluid process. And what you see before you includes both staffing changes, but also the budgetary items in excess of $50,000. And so we are posting on a monthly basis this summary report so people can look at it. It's archived, so September was the first one. From July 1st through September, there wasn't a whole lot of activity during the summer. And then you will also see October. In September, you made reference to the fact that it was a positive, there was a net gain, there was an adult education state block grant allocation that was provided to the district. And then in October, there were some staffing increases, so that costs money. Money's in reserve, so you reduce some of the residual. But there is also a one-time block grant reduction, and that's at $71 that we're expecting. And next month you'll see an increase, only because we're expecting the money to come in for the educator effectiveness. So again, it's just the ebb and flow of the budget on a monthly basis so our public and the board can review it.
So thanks. So when we get to that next review, no one should be surprised at some big number of changes. So thank you. I really appreciate you guys doing this.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other board member comments? I would just like to share that I went to the DAC meeting. I was unable to go to the first DAC meeting or the beginning DAC meeting because we had our board retreat. And so they very kindly put me back on the agenda, and I love DAC, and so I was very happy to be there. And also we had a wellness committee meeting, and that's always an interesting discussion. A great group, not reluctant to share perspectives about things that are happening on their campuses, which is helpful to me. Between DAC and the wellness committee, you could never be confused that the campuses are passionate about their various perspectives. Good for them. And then also, a couple of meetings ago, John Anderson and I, with the board's agreement, volunteered to take on the task of looking at competitive food sales and the impact that they might be having on child nutrition. And I wanted you to know that we've met once. We're in the process of arranging some school site visits. We've had conversations with staff, and so we're digging our way through that with updates coming in the future. So thank you everyone who's helping us with that process. And that's it for me. So if we have no other comments from the board, then we have arrived at action items, beginning on page 1 with item A, ratification of CSEA's appointment to the Personnel Commission.
Dr. Conley,
Mrs. Buckles.
I move that we appoint Nina Brandt, CSEA nominee, to serve as Personnel Commissioner for the term December 1st, 2015 through November 30th, 2018.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any comment or discussion? Yes, Mrs. Buckles?
I wanted to thank her for her service for the previous term and being willing to do it again.
Agreed. That's a good sign of character, isn't it? If there's nothing else, please vote.
Motion carries 4-0.
Motion carries 4-0. On page 3, item B, under instructional services, this is approval of amendments to board policy and administrative regulation 5116.1, intra-district open enrollment. Mr. Anderson.
Dr. Connolly, I make the motion that the board approve amendments to board policy and administrative regulation 5116.1, intra-district open enrollment as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion carries 4-0.
Motion carries 4-0. Next up, on page 13, item C, approval of amendments to Administrative Regulations 6181.1, Magnet Academy Schools. Do I have, Mrs. Phelps?
I move to approve amendments to Administrative Regulation 6181.1, Magnet Academy Schools as submitted.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, please vote.
Motion carries 4-0.
Motion carries 4-0. We've arrived at the consent agenda. Mrs. Phelps?
I move for approval of the consent agenda as printed.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded. Please vote.
Motion carries 4-0.
Motion carries 4-0. Turn the page. We are now at information discussion items on page 46. Beginning with the 2016 CSBA, California School Board Association, Delegate Assembly nominations. Do I have a motion?
It's information.
Oh, sorry. I feel so foolish. Okay, so nothing to discuss on that? No one wants to volunteer to be a CSBA delegate? I'm not hearing it.
Dr. Conley,
Yes.
I also noticed that there's actually a vacancy. So our region is, not only are we nominating, but there's also a vacancy that needs to be filled or,
That's the way I read it too. Hopefully another school board will have a member. I can tell you that the CSBA provides a stipend to offset the costs of attending the meetings. The one meeting in the winter, they go a day early, so they have an extra hotel. And then in May, they have an entire meeting in Sacramento. But if none of us are interested in throwing our hat in the ring, I guess we'll have to wait to hear about other boards being interested. So next item on the agenda is item B on page 52. This is authorization to open the 2015-2016 proposal for reopener collective bargaining negotiations between Conejo Valley Unified School District and the Conejo Valley Pupil Personnel Association, CVPPA. Any comments or questions? I don't see any. So that takes us to item C on page 53, which is approval of replacements for board policy and administrative regulation 6172, gifted and talented student program. Mrs. Buckles.
Have we been doing special day classes designed to meet the academic needs of gifted and talented students? Have we done that before?
We've not done that. Those are just options that the district
They're options,
may
it
use.
doesn't mean we actually,
We haven't done that.
okay.
We generally cluster students in a general education program, not a special grade program.
Okay, and the independent study supervised by certified district employees and offered through special tutors or mentors? We're not doing that either.
If we get creative, like Mr. Anderson,
I'm just excited to see these
things may be opportunities for us to seek, and if they're there, we take advantage of them.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Anderson is first.
So this is my last opportunity to use a rookie card. And so my year is up.
You're really pushing it.
My year is up. So if I read this correctly, there had been in previous budgets categorical money for GATE. Approximately how much per year was that?
I think during the times when we were flexing those categoricals to survive the past downturn, I think it was close to $1 million to the district. And that money, all but about $45,000 was used to eat and make it through the next day. And that $45,000 went to the office to continue with identification and the programs that were in place. We've had some additional instructional dollars that have helped support the GATE program during those tough times.
Would it be fair to say that we're doing less for GATE now than we were 5 years ago? Or 10 years ago?